This is the newsroom.
This is the newsroom for Wednesday, December 11, 2024. We're broadcasting to you on E1, SKAR TV, NTN, and TARZEE TV in Bartica. In the headlines, trade unionist turned politician launches United Workers' Party. Second power ship connects the national grid before Christmas.
It is expected to provide more than sufficient and reserve capacity into the DBIS.
Nandlall challenges Magistrate's decision to permit Brutus's wife to leave country. Frustration grows over months of low water pressure as GWI works on critical upgrades. And in sport, GMR&SC rewards top performers for 2024, and Mickey Arthur sees great future for Global Super League. With the news, I'm Vashani Raghavir. We're glad you can join us. Sharwin Downer, a former member of the People's Progressive Party for more than 2 decades, on Wednesday announced the formation of the United Workers' Party, which he said will be officially launched in a few months' time. At a press conference, he detailed a series of party plans if elected in the first 100 days.
A new political force, the United Workers' Party, was officially announced on Wednesday by its founder, Sharwin Downer, a former ardent supporter of the People's Progressive Party for over 2 decades. Downer, also General Secretary, hosted a press conference to make the first public announcement of the party's existence at the Caribbean Inn Hotel at Monrepo, East Coast, Demerara. The executive members did not want to say just yet their respective designations in the party. They are Rameshwar Lalbachan, Daglimer Lance, and Edgar Antonio. Downer, who says he has absolutely no issues with funding his new party through supporters locally and in the diaspora, whom he preferred not to name, said his decision to form a new party is not a result of any personal issues with the PPP.
In good conscience, I could no longer continue to support the party based on what is happening currently. With the leaders in the party currently are no longer leaders of a political party. That's a commercial and his business. They're in competition who wants to own business, co-own, and who wants front men and women to run business. So I think the party has deviated clearly from its true formation to how it was built by the and I base my decision on that. That's my conviction, that the party leaders have lost directions currently. They no longer concern themselves with the welfare of the poor and working class. They're more inclined to be in business.
Downer detailed a series of plans that he said the party would achieve in the first 100 days if it gets elected. Among them are bi-weekly payments for workers instead of monthly, travel free for Amerindians, a review of PAYE, a reduction of the NIS contributions, and quarterly distribution of rations.
As part of a first 100-day plan in office when elected, dry ration and grocery vouchers will be introduced quarterly. All loans to the commercial banks under 2 million Guyanese dollars will attract no interest on that amount. All loans for educational, housing, and medical purposes, the government will subsidize the interest on those loans borrowed for those 3 categories: housing, educational, and medical purposes. And these are the amount: $3 million for medical purposes, education is $4.7, and housing $30 million. So on those 3 categories of loan to the commercial banks, the government, the Workers' Party, government, and while in office, we will ensure that the loans for these 3 categories, the interests have been subsidized by the government. A duty and tax-free day will be announced for all Guyanese at home and in the diaspora. The United Workers' Party will subsidize all diaspora Guyanese wanting to come home. Airfares will be subsidized by the government to up to a family member and friends of 12 persons. So if Guyanese in the diaspora wants to come home, whether it's for vacation, for private purposes, or for holidays, all airfares for Guyanese returning home, wherever part of the globe they are in the diaspora, the Workers' Party and government will subsidize all airfares for they and their families and friends coming. So within the first 100 days, our party and government will dismantle the 2 umbrella union bodies, and there will be 1 parade for the workers. An anti-corruption prosecutor will be appointed within the first 100 days to address the issue of corruption in our country, which has become a national pandemic. An anti-corruption commission will replace SOCU, the existing Special Organized Crime Unit, will be replaced by an anti-corruption commission which will operate independent of the Guyana Police Force. As you know, currently SOCU is being controlled by the Guyana Police Force. So with the Workers' Party in government, it will be replaced by an anti-corruption commission which will be independent, operating independently of the Guyana Police Force, along with an anti-corruption prosecutor. The first vacancy when the Workers' Party is elected into office will be a vacancy for an anti-corruption prosecutor. That vacancy will not be confined to Guyana, but will be confined to CARICOM. Will be open up for CARICOM, Commonwealth, ABC countries, and those from the European can apply for that vacancy as an anti-corruption prosecutor.
He told the newsroom that he believes his party has the competence to manage the booming oil and gas industry. Even though unable to identify the persons in this sector, he said well-trained personnel is available to the party working behind the scenes. Downer said this is just a public announcement and that the official launch of the party will be in a few months. For the newsroom, Talisha Ramnarayan.
We tell you now that efforts are in full swing to connect the second power ship docked at the Guyana Sugar Corporation terminal at Rhymeville, Georgetown, to the Demerara-Berbice interconnected system. This power ship will deliver some 60 megawatts of power to the grid. Currently, a 3.9 kilometers double-circuit 69 kV transmission line from Rhymeville to the new Georgetown substation is under construction to facilitate the transfer of power from the ship. Executive Management Committee head of the Guyana Power and Light GPL for short, Kesh Nandlall, spoke to the media about the progress on Wednesday.
We have brought in a power ship, the new power ship, which will deliver 60 megawatts to the grid. As you are aware, the power ship is boarded at the sugar terminal in the Demerara River. Which we will see. Now I want to take you through the progress we are making to interconnect the power ship. As we have said before, we are constructing a 3.9 kilometer double circuit 69 kV line. And as you can see behind us here, these are some of the structures. Steel structures, very modern steel structure that we have put up. We have already constructed most of the lines, foundations, and we are putting up most of the structures, and we are making preparation to string the conductors right now. As you can see, there are guys up on the top of the pole there. So we just want to provide that update, and our target is to connect the power ship onto the grid before Christmas.
So we are around 70% in the completion level to connect this line, and we are working day and night to connect the line, and we will deliver the power from the power ship to the substation before Christmas.
So here we are at the sugar terminal at Rhymeville, where the power ship, as you can see, is stationed just outside in the waters there. You can see it behind the trees. And it will connect to this structure that is now being constructed here. Right now they're finishing up the foundation. They will pour concrete and then put up the structures, right? So this will go up very shortly. And there's another structure, as you can see, that is going up on the reserves or Banks DIH land. And that will take the power across over the other side.
And all of this is expected to ease the recent blackouts that we've been having?
It is expected to provide more than sufficient and reserve capacity into the DBIS, generating capacity.
A decision by Acting Chief Magistrate Faith McGusty to allow Adonika Altler, the pregnant wife of Assistant Police Commissioner Calvin Brutus, to leave the country for emergency medical treatment has ignited a legal dispute. The ruling made last Thursday in the Georgetown Magistrates Court is being challenged by Attorney General Nandlall, who argues that the magistrate exceeded her legal authority in granting the request. Oller and her husband are currently facing serious criminal charges. According to Nandlall, a magistrate has no legal right to allow a defendant who is released on bail or remanded to leave the country.
First of all, the magistrate should not have entertained the application because they had no power to do anything with it other than to reject it. But let us assume that the magistrate had the power. The magistrate ought to have considered him or herself bound by the manner that the High Court treated with the matter, following the doctrine of stare decisis and the doctrine of precedent, because the decision of a higher court binds the decision of a lower court. The CCJ only 2 months ago reinforced and reiterated the importance of this very principle in the case of Sarah Brown and Vikash Ramkissoon against Christopher Jones. Just recently, just 2 months ago. These decisions that, in my view, are so flagrantly in conflict with the law cannot be allowed to stand. The error must be corrected. The record, the public record must be rectified and cleansed of these legal travesty.
Aimed at increasing the presence and demand for local products on the international market and expanding its services, a new state-of-the-art laboratory and administration building was commissioned for the Guyana National Bureau of Standards, GNBS for short, on Wednesday.
President Dr. Irfan Ali commissioned the new state-of-the-art laboratory and administration building for the Guyana National Bureau of Standards on Wednesday. The facility was financed through a loan from the Inter-American Development Bank, IDB, and built at the cost of US $12 million. It is equipped with enhanced laboratories and modern equipment, which will facilitate extended services such as the verification of blood pressure monitors, MPG meters, and sung level meters. Delivering the feature address, President Ali stated that the GNBS is vital for the transformation, competitiveness, and diversification of the economy.
When you look at this building, you can see a different level of construction, a different level of engineering and architecture, because it was important that the physical attributes of the building represent what the building stood for, what the building stands for, what it embodies. If we don't have the standards and the verifiable indicators of those standards to differentiate the product, then we can lose market share and market position because we are not able to differentiate the product. And that is why this is so important at this time. As we move into manufacturing, industrial development, agro-processing, we have to be able to have in-house capacity, in-country capacity and capability to do the testing, to do the accreditation of the products. Because this lab and this facility will carry with it the international accreditation that allows our local product to fit into the international market by having the accreditation here locally.
Minister of Tourism, Industry and Commerce, Uneej Waldron, said the establishment of the facility marks the nation's commitment to strengthening standards and quality.
This building is not just a physical structure. I believe it has taught us how we can work together to realize once again one of our milestones of our vision as a government to build out Guyana as and Guyanese businesses as a globally competitive status. And this is just one of our milestones. And it's a beacon of innovation and what we really can achieve if we work together. It will be a resource for growth and promise of excellence.
IDB country representative Lorena Salazar said the establishment marks a significant milestone in the partnership with the government, strengthening and enhancing private sector operations and business opportunities. The operation of the structure will enable local firms to face challenges in the rapidly growing economy and meet international standards. Reporting for the newsroom, Sharda Bacchus.
As the government continues to bolster the country's anti-corruption agencies, Minister of Parliamentary Affairs and Governance Gail Teixeira emphasized that the rising number of cases being uncovered does not indicate a rise in corruption. Instead, she explained it highlights the effectiveness and growing capabilities of those agencies in identifying and prosecuting corruption, underscoring their success in combating the issue.
As we strengthen our institutions, which is what we're trying to do, to create resilient institutions that have the capacity and the competency to reduce corruption, to prevent it, to reduce it, but also to uncover it and to prosecute it, that you will see as the country's institutions become better, more resilient, better trained, better resourced, that you will find more corruption. You'll find more corruption because that's what they're supposed to do. And people I know in the media, some will say, you see, you know, I don't have to quote, you know what they'll say. But the issue is that as we go forward in the anti-corruption fight, and as we get better, stronger in our investigation, prosecution, that we will be able to find more cases. But the issue is that we have to focus, and that is why the panel discussion at 11:30 is on building resilient institutions against corruption. How do we keep ensuring that the various, about 16 agencies are involved with anti-corruption in Guyana, that these are strengthened, they have good training, they have skills, they have technical resources, so they can do good work.
Georgetown residents continue to face low water pressure issues, with the Guyana Water Incorporated, called GWI, working to address the situation through essential infrastructure upgrades. While all mains are being replaced, the process has led to frequent interruptions in water service.
Frustration is growing among Georgetown residents who have for months endured water woes. The Guyana Water Inc. says it is doing its best on its online platforms to inform residents of the works that are ongoing. On Monday, several disruption notices were issued for the North Rumvelt well, as well as Central Georgetown and the Shelter Belt. But for each notice posted online came a series of remarks that reflect the frustration and disdain felt by residents who have been enduring this water situation for many months now. Officers from GWI on Tuesday conducted a live on Facebook to update residents of the works ongoing at Aubrey Barker Road in the city. Executive Director of Operations Jawaharlal Ramjuk explained that the relocation of the interconnection mains near the GPL power station was necessary. Although the intention was to wrap up the work in the shortest time frame possible, he said upon excavation, other problems came up that were not anticipated.
Excavation, it is recognized that some of the materials are of different diameter because these pipes are very old. As a matter of fact, they're not the type of pipe that is being used in the system right now. So there had to be adjustment to the material at hand, and that took some time for us to get done. Now, being so late in the night, it able to let it process forward by having the necessary equipment to have these materials machine down to the site. So there were some unforeseen circumstances there, as I explained, that caused the delay.
Even as GWI reported on Tuesday that the work at Aubrey Barker Road was completed, residents are still forced to wait until the water pressure builds up to benefit from a somewhat normal service. Engineer Richard Dookie explained why several wells have to be turned off at the same time to facilitate works.
The reason for that, fortunately for customers, all the treatment plants and the wells are linked together so we get good level of service. But unfortunately for leak repairs, that makes the job more difficult where we all turn off multiple stations to facilitate faster leak repairs. Now, unfortunately, areas that will be affected, Northern North, Shelby Belt, and Central Georgia, would be from Campbellville to Roxham, Burnham, to north and south and west.
Ramjuk said even though GWI is aware of all of the inconveniences, the work is necessary to facilitate development. Residents have, however, been saying that the situation continues without any real promise of a solution soon. For the newsroom, Talisha Ramrine.
When the newsroom returns, we tell you about a new youth center which has opened for young people in Region 10. Please stay with us. Welcome back. This is the newsroom. More than 33,000 public servants and members of the disciplined services are set to receive a substantial 10% retroactive salary increase, which will be paid out before the end of December 2024. This landmark increase, the largest of its kind, will see approximately $7 billion placed into the hands of public servants across the country. Now, the senior minister with responsibility for finance, Dr. Ashni Singh, in an exclusive interview with the newsroom, spoke at length on the increase on Tuesday, hours after it was announced by President Dr. Irfaan Ali. He stressed that the salary boost reflects the PPC government's commitment to improving the livelihoods of the nation's workforce.
The implementation of this 10% across the board increase, along with the other adjustments that I'm going to come back to in a minute, because you would note that you would be aware that the President announced, in addition to the across-the-board increase of 10% for 2024, the introduction and or adjustments of several allowances, including allowances aimed at addressing things like higher or additional qualifications, and adjustments to other allowances as well. Altogether, these adjustments to the allowances and the across-the-board increase will see amounts totaling $7 billion being put in the hands of the eligible public servants and members of the disciplined services, approximately 33,000 persons benefiting from additional disposable income of about $7 billion. And that's not counting the teachers who have already benefited from the multi-year agreement that was concluded with the Guyana Teachers Union. These two increases form part of a very significant development that took place today, and that is the concluding of a multi-year agreement between the Government of Guyana and the Guyana Public Service Union. I think it's well known that we have for a very long time tried to conclude multi-year agreements with the major unions representing public sector employees. This government, under President Ali's leadership, has been able to conclude a multi-year agreement, a two-year agreement in this instance, covering 2024 and 2025. The fact that President Ali's government has been able to conclude this two-year agreement with the Guyana Public Service Union is itself a very significant development. Of course, contained within of significant developments, but the multi-year agreement also includes a number of other significant features which I would like to highlight, or some of which I'd like to highlight. First, the agreement includes a provision for the payment of allowances for the attainment of higher degrees. So you would see, for example, allowances now attached to the attainment of professional accounting qualifications, the ACC in particular, allowances being payable for the attainment of master's degrees, and allowances being payable for the attainment of doctoral degrees, PhDs. This, of course, reflects our government's recognition of the importance of attracting qualified people into the public service, and our government's desire to retain qualified people in the public service, all, of course, with the objective of building up the capacity of the public service and being better able to deliver a quality of service that's even higher than before. Our government has historically and consistently awarded salary increases every year to public sector employees. We have always, of course, endeavored to reach agreements with the various unions in the public sector, but even in the absence of such agreements, we have never in any year that we have been in government for, we have never in any year that we've been in government for not granted substantial improvements to the working conditions of public sector employees.
Youth in Region 10, Upper Demerara Berbice, can now use a new Youth Vibes Center established by the Ministry of Human Services and Social Security with support from the United Nations Population Fund. This center, established at Block 22 in Region 10, is meant for young persons, especially those who are at risk.
And so this space is the first that the Ministry of Human Services and Social Security would have opened in the country. So Region 10, you were the first to have one of these. And because that is so, we want you to be the trailblazer. We want you to be the pioneer so that whatever activities happen here, this could be a model center for other centers to follow. Mentorship, guidance, peer counseling, bringing the wiring program here. We want you to be able to see this space as your own, where you can come in the afternoon. There's a computer that has been provided, there's television, there's sports equipment, and a lot of other things that have been brought here.
Attorney General Nandlall has again voiced concerns over attempts to delay the 2020 election fraud trial, highlighting what he believes are clear efforts by the defense, including Attorney Nigel Hughes, to stall proceedings. Speaking on Tuesday evening, Nandlall expressed frustration with the ongoing delays in the case, which has been pending for over 4 years. The trial, which has seen various procedural matters addressed, is set to face another hurdle as Acting Chief Magistrate Faith McGusty is expected to deliver a decision on December 30 regarding whether the trial will start afresh.
There is one school of thought, which is being maintained by the prosecution, that all that needs to go over is the trial itself. And the trial have had 2 or 3 witnesses only. So all you need to do is to restart the trial. The defense lawyers do not wish that to happen. They want the matter to start all over again. I suppose for the charges to be read and for them to again plead all over again. That is their contention. It is all a strategy to delay the hearing of the cases. And that has been the position of the defense team from the beginning. They are afraid to go to trial because the evidence is overwhelming. You are aware of the evidence. You witnessed the crimes being committed firsthand. Many of you. Many of the footages are still available on the social media. Many of the statements are still available on the social media. So what you have is a defense team who would like the trials never to proceed.
We tell you now that Ghana and Canada have launched a new project to improve safe living and learning conditions for migrant children and those in remote areas. The $3 million Canadian project, entitled Promoting Safe and Healthy Learning and Living Environments for Migrant Children and Host Communities in Ghana's hinterland and selected coastal areas, aims to help 50 communities in regions 1, 2, 7, 8, and 9, as well as 50 coastal communities. The project was introduced during a meeting at the Grand Coastal Hotel, where the Minister of Human Services and Social Security, Dr. Vindya Prasad, and Canadian High Commissioner Sebastian Segun delivered remarks.
This is not just a project, this is really a very important project. And we're glad that we can work with UNICEF, with the Ministries of Health, of Education, Human Services, and Social Security. This project is all about giving access to quality, safe and secure learning and living environment for remote communities. By focusing on education, health, gender equality, and support for Indigenous, migrant, and remote communities, we are creating a more just, equitable, and sustainable world for current and future generations. As we know, the early years of child's life are critical. They develop essential cognitive, social, and emotional skills that set the stage for their future success.
What have we been doing with the Early Childhood Development Program? As you heard, there would have been a lot of training happening, and we have today trained 200 ECD practitioners focused heavily on those persons who are already in the care system through the daycare centers that we have across regions. This has also tied in significantly with training that would have been received by some parents as well, and those persons directly in the Ministry of Human Services and Social Security who would have to ensure that this program is one that is accessible and what government of Guyana wants, inclusive, especially because the government of Guyana is very invested in early childhood development and also the inclusivity and accessibility that is required.
SKAR Computers, which is a trusted technology store, is offering sweet deals this holiday season. Whether you're looking for the perfect laptop, smartphone, camera, or other gadgets, the team at SKAR Computers has you covered. What's more is that there are exciting bundle deals, discounts, and chances to win giveaways. SKAR Computers is located at 59 Brickdam, Georgetown.
I'm Penny, and I'm the Corporate Sales and Marketing Manager here at SKAR Computer. SKAR Computers has been a major IT company in Guyana for 32 years. We always bring quality products to Guyana. You know, we deal with international brands, Lenovo, HP, APC. We are the store that has in Guyana the Samsung Experience Center. We have that whole international standard here. You have all the phones, all the latest phones, whether it comes to watches, televisions, and handsets, you can get it right here at SKAR Computer. Christmas, we have lots of exciting things. In fact, we have gifts for everyone on your list and including yourself. So you can come down here. We have phones for everyone from the A series to the S series models. We have the latest phones, the Fold, the Flip 6 and the Fold 6. We have the watches are available. We also have giveaways with them. So when you buy right now, you'll be able to get a gift pack with everything that you purchase that's on our gift ideas list. With the cell phones, you'll be getting a free SIM card, a free Samsung adapter, and a free memory card. We have our Lenovo laptop bundle deals. And with that, you'll be getting a multifunction printer, a bag, a mouse, and a headphone, and a mouse pad with it. Plus, you'll be getting a gift pack with that also. So as you buy here, you get many gift packs that comes with the system. You're also gonna get a $2,000 gift voucher, so you can buy something else additional, you know, maybe for yourself. We have televisions right now that starts from 32-inch in case you're looking for something extra for your rooms, your additional rooms, but we have from 32-inch all the way to 98-inch, and that's just awesome because those are huge. I know a lot of persons who are into games, and then we just had cricket here the other day, so those are exciting gifts to give someone, you know. So we have some smaller gadgets, and I do like them because they're gifts that shows that you care. We have the smart security cameras. Some are pan, tilt, and zoom, and some are just stationary. We have the ones that with the floodlights. Persons who may need that, maybe elderly persons, or even if you're looking for to secure your home for the season, I think it's great to give as a gift though. It just shows the relative that you really care about their safety. You know, we do have cute gift bags, handbags, backpacks. Those are such essentials, you know, that persons may definitely find useful throughout the whole year. I think they're very stylish. We have surround sound speakers, Bluetooth speakers. They have the one that that are waterproof, and then you can detach them and turn them into 2 speakers. We have speakers with microphones, and you can do karaoke with that. And it's so much more exciting things that persons can get here at SKAR Computer. And it's always quality products. You get your SIM warranty, you get your after sales. Well, besides the discounts that we have, which are a lot, and the gift packs, we have something extra for our customers. So when you shop at SKAR Computer, you get a chance, one of 12 chances to win a prize. So we have 12 amazing prizes, one being a surround sound speakers with microphone. You know, that's awesome. We have printers, HP multifunction wireless printers. That's someone can use, you know, something that's so essential to our regular printing. We have so many more awesome gifts. And every time you buy, you get a chance to win. So that's one of the cool things here at SKAR Computers that's going on for Christmas. At SKAR Computers, we have gifts that keeps on giving, and we want to encourage everyone to come down here at SKAR, shop, save, and enjoy the season. We have convenient parking here at SKAR. It's on 59 Brick Dam. Of course, a beautiful building that we dress up especially for our customers. And we want to give back with all these discounts that we have for the Christmas, you know. We just want to tell everyone thank you for the support throughout the year. And, you know, we look forward to seeing them continue to shop here at SKAR Computer. Also, I just want to remind customers to continue to follow us on Facebook and on TikTok. And, you know, I look forward to seeing them here at SKAR.
When the newsroom returns to financial weather and bridge reports along with sport news, please stay with us. Welcome back to the newsroom, and we start things off with some motor racing news. The Guyana Motor Racing and Sports Club GMR&SC rewarded their top performers for the 2024 season at the GT Motorsports on Tuesday evening. In addition to those who reaped success on track, the club recognized the efforts of its numerous volunteers, media partners, and sponsors. From the competitors' end, Anand Ramchan took home a basket of awards. Top of the list was the Driver of the Year for accumulating the most points in circuit and endurance, as he had title success in Group 3 and the Starlet Cup. On the two-wheel side, street class champion Adrian Mohar was the rider of the season. More so, cash prizes were awarded to the top competitors in the Starlet Cup, Group 2, along with Sport and Street Tuner.
We want to pull the curtains down in 2024, knowing that our AGM is next week. And we want to have all of our members, especially those who contribute to the success of this year. This is supposed to be an appreciation for all the volunteers that worked so diligently in this year. And before we go into that appreciation part of the ceremony, I want to recognize the hard work that Sherry and Louise put in to pull this event off. Because every couple of minutes they called me and said, we have to do this, we have to do this, we have to get the members, we have to get the volunteers together. So this ceremony was spearheaded by Louise Kumar and Sherry. So I don't want to take away too much from what is supposed to actually happen tonight. But when I look in the gathering here, I see we have many stakeholders. We have members of the media that always push the sport forward. We have partners. We have major sponsors. We have the volunteers. We have the competitors, like everybody that promote the sport and bring the sport to what it is today. This sport is run by volunteers, and to the heights that we have took it to, we must complement each other.
The Ethnic Relations Commission plans to expand its recently concluded T10 Table Harmony League in 2025. On Sunday, the Region 8 unit of Madhya Movement's family emerged as champions of the inaugural edition, the best of 48 teams. Commissioner Nia Suban said the interest in the tournament most enthused the ERC. It was pleasing to see a team with its origins in Region 8 win the tournament, as traditionally, teams more central to the capital have found success.
This competition initially was designed to have it across all 10 regions. But because of circumstances in 2024, we couldn't get to that level, but we'll correct that in 2025. So for me and for us, it is very heartening to hear today that a team with its origin in a hinterland region of Region 8 from Madhya would have won the initial competition. Thank you very much. And for me, that speaks volumes, because traditionally, this game has been dominated by the two counties of Babis and Demerara, and along the coast, actually, of Babis and Demerara, and to a lesser extent over the recent years, from Essequibo along the coast. So we're very happy. We are very happy, and we are hoping that this can inspire other teams in the regions to join those along the coast for 2025. Mr. Clive Lloyd, a legendary cricketer from Guyana, known across the world, to be here with you, to spend a few moments with you. The fact that he was able to make himself available speaks to how much importance he would have attached to this competition. I'll tell you this, he and I sat right on this bench for the first 10 overs, for the first team. And we had quite a lot of things that we spoke about. But he was very impressed with what he saw. I don't know the names, he asked me to get the names, but there were two particular bowlers that he saw in the first 10 overs that he was very impressed with in terms of their actions and everything else. So it speaks a lot to what competitions like this can do.
Renowned cricket coach Mickey Arthur believes the ExxonMobil Ghana Global Super League can blossom into a mega event. Arthur, head coach for the inaugural champions Ragpur Riders of Bangladesh, foresees that the tournament can be a launch pad for scouting talent. The Bangladesh franchise defeated Australia's Victoria in the final on Friday evening at the National Stadium, Providence. Other teams in the tournament were the Ghana Amazon Warriors, Hampshire Hawks of England, and the Lahore Qalandars of Pakistan. The tournament aims to reboot the Champions League T20 and showcase Guyana to the world.
Hi, Mickey. Firstly, congrats.
Thank you.
Winning this Global Super League. As a coach of Season 1, how do you see this league fitting into the global sphere, obviously in spotting some new talent?
Yeah, it was a great tournament. I thought it was fantastic. It's nice and short, it's sharp, so it can fit in comfortably. And yeah, there was some really nice talent that has been spotted, and giving those guys exposure in an international ground in a high pressure environment just helps them grow as cricketers. So it's fantastic.
Yeah. About this Bangladesh side, look, at the start, they started at the start, but really kicked off at the end to get the title. What was kind of the management's input into that one?
Well, I think once we started believing in our ability and believing that we could play in these conditions, we started to play really good cricket, and then we were almost unstoppable. And then once we got a win, the belief grew and grew and grew, and we kind of got that momentum, and that carried us home.
Yeah. Look, 4 nations will join in Guyana in this one. How do you see the growth of this going? Potentially more nations could join in 2025 onwards. How do you see this going?
Yeah, I think it could grow, and I think, because I know every team that's been here has had a wonderful experience. So everybody's going to be wanting to come back, and those other nations that aren't here are going to be wanting to send some form of representation. So I see it growing. I just see it getting bigger and bigger.
In a budding one-day international career, Jayden Seales took a career-best 4 for 22 to seal the 3-match series against Bangladesh in St. Kitts. It was West Indies' first ODI series win against Bangladesh in 10 years. Seales led the attack in the absence of the suspended Alzari Joseph and stated he's coming to grips with the format and the different skills required to succeed. And it is pleasing to reap the rewards.
Yeah, I feel really good knowing that I could have put in a performance to help the team win the game today. Was pleased with the way that the boys handled themselves with the ball, and then in the end they were the bat.
It's a 3-match series to get it done in 2 matches. How do you feel about that also?
Yeah, that was something that we spoke about coming into this series. We have won the first game of series before and let the second one slip, and then had to play like a finals for the third one. So to get over the line today was something that we worked really hard on, and getting the job done was a pleasing feeling for all of us.
Coming into this game, your ODI record has been one that raises some questions. What was it like today?
I would also say I'm very thankful to the selectors for keeping the faith with me, because I know my ODI record is not the greatest. It's something I'm working on and just trying to keep getting better for the team and doing well.
And without Alzari, you took more leadership position. What was that?
It was just to hit my lines and lengths, and force the batsmen to make a mistake, and we saw that it paid off in the end today.
Young Guyanese tennis sensation Zion Hickerson has made a strong impression at the prestigious 9 and Under Littlemore International Tennis Tournament in Palm Beach Gardens, Florida. Hickerson, also a promising footballer, advanced to the round of 16 before falling to American Max Sullivan. Despite the loss, Hickerson's performance showcased his talent and potential on the international stage. The experience gained from competing against top young players worldwide will be invaluable for Hickerson's development. He will now focus on football training with Atletico Madrid in 2025. And with that, we've come to the end of this evening's newscast. Of course, you can find these and other stories at our website, newsroom.gy, and across all our social media pages, Newsroom Guyana. On behalf of the news and technical teams, I'm Vishani Raghavar. Thank you for watching.